Hello, second graders. I am going to read the next chapter of the City of Ember for you. So we are on chapter 6, The Box in the Closet. So before we start reading chapter 6, last week Miss Schultz read chapter 5 for us. And in chapter 5, so Lena went to Looper's store and she saw the colored pencils and she bought two of them. So she bought the blue one and the green one, and she thought they were just so beautiful, but they were so expensive. They were $5 each. And she was thinking, well, for $7, I could get a new coat for Granny. But she decided to buy the colored pencils, and then she lost Poppy. Poppy got lost, and then there was a blackout. Oh, so the last chapter was really exciting. So I think that last chapter, chapter 5, was called Night Street, on Night Street. So now we are going to read chapter 6, The Box in the Closet. It was strange how people didn't talk much about the blackout. Power failures usually aroused lively discussion, with clumps of people collecting on corners and saying to each other, "Where were you when it happened?" And, "What's the matter with the electricians? We should kick them out and get new ones." And that sort of thing. This time it was just the opposite. When Lena went to work the next morning, the street was oddly silent. People walked quickly, their eyes on the ground. Those who did stop to talk spoke in low voices and then hurried away. So people are kind of like, that day, Lena carried the same message 12 times. All the messengers were carrying it. It was simply this, being passed from one person to another. 7 minutes. The power failure had been more than twice as long as any other so far. 7 minutes. Everybody keeps being like, "Can you believe the blackout? 7 minutes." Wow. Can you imagine if you tried to sit in the dark for 7 minutes? That's a long time. If I were to close the shades in the classroom and then turn off the lights and wait for 7 minutes, that's a really long time to be sitting in the dark. Kind of scary. Fear had settled over the city. Lena felt it like a cold chill. She understood now that Dune had been speaking the truth on assignment day. Ember was in grave danger. The next day, a notice appeared on all the city's kiosks. Town meeting. All citizens are requested to assemble in Harkin Square at 6 p.m. tomorrow to receive important information. Mayor Lamander Cole. So there's a little sign that's up around the town. Town meetings. Everybody's supposed to go to this meeting. What kind of important information? Lena wondered. Good news or bad? She was impatient to hear it. I wonder what they're going to learn about at the meeting. The next day, people streamed into Harkin Square from all 4 directions, crowding together so close that each person hardly had room to move. Children sat on the shoulders of fathers. Short people tried to push toward the front. Lena spotted Lizzie and called a greeting to her. She saw Vindy Chance, too, who had brought her little brother. Lena had decided to leave Poppy at home with Granny. There was too much danger of losing her in a crowd like this. Probably a prudent thing to do, huh? She left Poppy at home with Granny. The town clock began to strike. 6 vibrating bongs rang out, and a murmur of anticipation swept through the crowd. It's like, oh, the town meeting's gonna start. People stood on tiptoe, craning to see. The door of the gathering hall opened, and the mayor came out, flanked by 2 guards. One of the guards handed the mayor a megaphone, and the mayor began to speak. We've got like a big megaphone, one of those things that makes your voice kind of go out into a large crowd, kind of amplifies your voice, makes it louder. So the mayor's got a big megaphone. And the mayor began to speak. His voice came through the megaphone, both blurry and crackly. Okay, so he's got this megaphone, but it sounds like it doesn't work very well. Hmm. Kind of like a lot of things in Ember. It's probably very old. People of Ember, he said. He waited. The crowd fell silent, straining to hear. People of Ember, the mayor said again. He looked from side to side. The light glinted off his bald head. Our city has experienced some slight difficulty. Times like this require great patience. What did he say? People whispered urgently. What did he say? I couldn't hear him. Slight difficulties, someone said, requires great patience from us all. But I stand here today, the mayor went on, to reassure you. Difficult times will pass. We are Megan. What? Came the sharp whisper. What did he say? Those near the front of the crowd passed word back. Making every effort, they said. Every effort. Louder, someone shouted. The mayor's voice blared through the megaphone louder, but even less clear. Worsh pushuling, he said. Pink, Russian pink. No Russian pink. We can't hear you, someone else yelled. Lena felt a stirring around her, a muttering. Someone pushed against her back, forcing her forward. He said we mustn't panic, someone said. He said panic is the worst possible thing. No reason to panic, he said. On the steps of the gathering hall, the two guards moved a little closer to the mayor. He raised the megaphone and spoke again. Solutions, he bellowed. Our big phone! Solutions, the people in front called to the people in back. Solutions are being found, he said. What solutions? Called a woman standing near Lena. People elsewhere in the crowd echoed what the woman had said. What solutions? What solutions? Their cry became a chorus, louder and louder. So the people are like, what solutions? What are you doing to help us? Again, Lena felt the pressure from behind as people moved forward toward the gathering hall. Jostling arms poked her, bulky bodies bumped her and crushed her. Her heart began to pound. I have to get out of here, she thought. She started ducking beneath arms and darting into whatever space she could find, making her way toward the rear of the crowd. Noise was rising everywhere. The mayor's voice kept coming in blasts of incomprehensible sound. So she's like, I can't understand what he's saying. And the people in the crowd were either shouting angrily or yelping in fear of being squashed. Someone stepped on Lena's foot, and her scarf was half yanked off. For a few seconds, she was afraid she was going to be trampled. But at last she struggled free and ran up onto the steps of the school. From there, she saw that the two guards were hustling the mayor back through the door of the gathering hall. The crowd roared, and a few people started hurling whatever they could find: pebbles, garbage, crumpled paper, even their own hats. Dear. So the mayor has just given this speech, and he's trying to say that he is looking for some solutions. He's saying, solutions are being found. People of Ember, don't worry, don't panic. We mustn't panic. But the people of Ember don't really believe the mayor. They're like, what are the solutions? And they're getting kind of angry and they're throwing things at him. Oh my goodness. I wonder what's going to happen next. You'll have to wait and find out. And I will finish the rest of the chapter in a couple of days and we'll find out. Oh my goodness. This is getting fascinating. All right. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you again soon.